finishing up on the cave. Bismillah Rahman Nirrahim. In the name of God, the most gracious, most merciful. His companions said to him in the course of the argument with him, "Dost thou deny him who created thee out of dust, then out of a sperm drop, then fashioned thee into a man? But I think for my part that he is God, my Lord, and none shall I associate with my Lord. Why didst thou not, as thou goest into thy garden, say, God's will be done? There's no power but with God. If thou dost see me less than thee in wealth and sons, it may be that my Lord will give me something better than thy garden, and that he will send on thy garden thunderbolts by way of reckoning from heaven, making it but slippery sand. Or the water of the garden will run off underground, so that thou wilt never be able to find it. So his fruits and enjoyment were encompassed with ruin. And he remained twisting and turning his hands over what he had spent on his property, which had now tumbled to pieces to its very foundations. And he could only say, "Woe is me! Would I had never ascribed partners to my Lord and cherisher, nor had he numbers to help him against God, nor was he able to deliver himself." There, the only protection comes from God, the true one. He is the best to reward and the best to give success. Set forth to them the similitude of the life of this world. It is like the rain which we send down from the sky. The earth's vegetation absorbs it, but soon it becomes dry stubble, which the winds do scatter. It is only God who prevails over all things. Wealth and sons are an allurement of the life of this world, but the things that endure, good deeds, are best in the sight of thy Lord as rewards, and best as the foundation for hopes. One day we shall remove the mountains, and thou wilt see the earth as a level stretched out, and we shall gather them all together, nor shall we leave out any one of them, and they will be marshaled before thy Lord in ranks, with the announcement, "Now have ye come to us, bare as we created you first. Hey, you thought we shall not fulfill the appointment made to you to meet us. And the book of deeds will be placed before you, and thou wilt see the sinful in great terror, because of what is recorded there. They will say, Ah, woe to us! What a book is this! It leaves nothing small or great, but takes account thereof. They will find all that they did placed before them, and none, not one will thy Lord treat with injustice. Behold, we said to the angels, bow down to Adam. They bowed down except Iblis. He was one of the jinns, and he broke the command of his Lord. Will you then take him and his progeny as protectors rather than me? And they are enemies to you. Evil will be the exchange for the wrongdoers, I call them not to witness the creation of the heavens and the earth, nor even their own creation, nor is it for me to take as helpers such as lead men astray. One day, he will say, call on those whom you thought to be my partners, and they will call on them, but they will not listen to them. And we shall make for them a place of common perdition. And the sinful shall see the fire and apprehend that they are to fall therein. No means will they find to turn away therefrom. We have explained in detail in this Quran, for the benefit of mankind, every kind of similitude, but man is in most things contentious. And what is there to keep back men from believing now that guidance has come to them, nor from praying for forgiveness from their Lord, but that they ask that the ways of the ancients be repeated with them, or the wrath be brought to them face to face. We only send a messenger to give glad tidings and to give warnings, but the unbelievers dispute with vain argument in order therewith to weaken the truth, and they treat my signs as jest, as also the fact that they are warned. And who does more wrong than one who is reminded of the signs of his Lord, but turn away from them, forgetting the deeds which his hands have sent forth? Verily we have set veils over their hearts, lest they should understand this, and over their ears deafness. If thou callest them to guidance, even then will they never accept guidance. But your Lord is most forgiving, full of mercy. If he were to call them at once to account for what they have earned, then surely he would have hastened their punishment. But they have their appointed time, beyond which they will find no refuge. Such were the populations we destroyed, then they committed iniquities. But we fixed an appointed time for their destruction. Behold, Moses said to his attendant, I will not give up until I reach the junction of the two seas, or until I spend years and years in travel. But when they reached the junction, they forgot about their fish, which took its course through the sea straight as in a tunnel. When they had passed on some distance, Moses said to his attendant, bring us our early meal. Truly we have suffered much fatigue at this stage of our journey. He replied, sawest thou not what happened when we betook ourselves to the rock? I indeed forgot about the fish. None made me forget, but Shaitan made me forget to tell you about it. It took its course through the sea in a marvelous way. Moses said, that's what we were seeking after. So they went back on their footsteps, following the path they had come. So they found of our servants on whom we had bestowed mercy from ourselves, and whom we had taught knowledge from our own presence. Moses said to him, may I follow thee on a footing that thou teach me something of the higher truth which thou hast been taught? The other said, verily thou wilt not be able to have patience with me. And how canst thou have patience about things about which thy understanding is not complete? Moses said, thou wilt find me, if God so will, truly patient, nor shall I disobey thee in aught. The other said, if then thou wouldest follow me, ask me no questions about anything, until I myself speak to thee concerning it. So they both proceeded, until when they were in the boat, he scuttled it. Moses, hast thou scuttled it in order to drown those in it? Truly a strange thing hast thou done. He answered, did I not tell thee that thou canst have no patience with me? Moses said, rebuke me not for forgetting, nor grieve me by raising difficulties in my case. Then they proceeded until where they met a young man. He slew him. Moses said, hast thou slain an innocent person who has slain none? Truly a foul unheard of thing hast thou done. He answered, did I not tell thee that thou cannot have no patience with me? Moses said, if ever I ask thee about anything after this, keep me not in thy company. Then thou wouldst have received full excuse from my side. Then they proceeded until when they came to the inhabitants of a town, they asked them for food, but they refused them hospitality. They found there a wall on the point of falling down, but he set it up straight. Moses said, if thou hadst wished, surely thou could have exacted some recompense for it. He answered, this is the parting between me and thee. Now, I will tell thee the interpretations of those things over which thou was made unable to hold patience. As for the boat, it belonged to a certain men of dire want. They plied on the water about which to render it unserviceable. For there was after them a certain king who seized on every boat by force. As for the youth, his parents were people of faith, and we feared that he would grieve them by obstinate rebellion and ingratitude to God and man. So we desired that their Lord would give them in exchange a son better in purity of conduct and closer in affection. As for the wall, it belonged to 2 youth orphans. In the town there was beneath it a buried treasure, to which they were entitled. Their father had been a righteous man, so thy Lord desired that they should attain their age of full strength and get out their treasure, a mercy and a favor from thy Lord. I did it not of my own accord, such the interpretation of those things over which thou was unable to hold patient, and may the peace and blessings of God be amongst us all. Amen. 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 Amen.